think up about my last video, yeah, because it seems to me that a lot of people took it in two different ways, yeah. The video what I'm talking about is 23 years as a plumber, and I've never seen it this bad. A lot of people did jump in the comment section, which I appreciate. I've actually messaged you all back, but I wanted to make a video about it because, you know, the statements what I said were very truth to myself, right? So let's get into some context of what I said. So what I said was, I've been a plumber for 23 years, yeah? That's a fact. That's what I've been doing. I've been working on site, I've been working in colleges and training centers, yeah? Trading in the trade. So I generally care about the role, what I do. For me to understand more about what I do and how I can help others, I decided to get into lecturing. Yeah, it was very simple. It gave me a lot of drive to do plumbing and to keep helping people because I knew that I was a plumber who needed help. Yeah, and for me to just exchange my skills with others, I can't explain the feeling what I got from teaching because it's just different compared to work. You know, I'm giving my knowledge, my skill, my experience, scenarios, and I'm all trying to turn them into a healthy day for a apprentice or someone who is still a student as a plumber. For them to learn the game, just think like I think, just for a second, and then you'll understand things what I say a little bit better. And generally, like when it comes to work, yeah, I've worked at the highest end of plumbing. I've worked in the Premier League. I've worked in Chelsea. You know, it's not that everyone else aspires to work in high valued areas, Kensington, Knightsbridge. I've done all of that. West End. I've been doing that since I first started. So being in them areas, yeah, there's a different level of pressure, different level of competition. There is a way you have to carry yourself to get yourself the next job. And I've been doing that for ages. And after a while, the pressure builds up. But I've realized to myself that if I only work in those types of areas, I'll get paid the money what I want to get paid. And that's the sacrifice that I've had to take in this situation, right? So it's led me to thinking the things what I've said. And I never said, and I do want to clear up the message because we do need to stay focused on the message, which I said, which was in my last video, I said, I'm not walking away from plumbing. That was the words what come out of my mouth. I spoke a lot about other factors, what has made me say that I'm not taking it and making it my main priority, because that was the word I said, making it my main priority. No, not anymore. I'm at a different point in my life personally. So that's why I said that. And my focus hasn't always been mainly just on plumbing work, right? And if you've watched any of my content over the years, you would have seen that. You've seen me sit down with other people within the trade to talk about their experiences, how they got into it. You've seen me on podcasts speaking about what it's like to be a plumber, other people interviewing me, and me feeling very proud of what I have become and what I've achieved as a plumber. You know, I've showed you, it's over there, but I'm not going to show you right now. It's plumbing magazines, which I've been very proud of to be a part of. So let's not just forget all these nationwide magazines which I've been featured in, which has been congratulating my, you know, accomplishments and the things what I've done. You know, at one point, Hit magazine, which is for students, I'm one of the. So look, let me show you the page and let me not just talk. So I've got a page where I made, well, they done a little article on me, and I spoke about what tools you need as a plumber, and this was in 2022. So I've been doing this for a while, but the thing about it is, found it. Look, proof is in the pudding, guys. That 2019, this one, Heating and Plumbing magazine. This was a buzz for me to be in these types of magazines, to be recognized by the industry and stuff like that. It's been happening for years. But my whole point of me even telling you about where I'm going to pivot within my content or my message, you know, my message has always been the same. I tell people to get into plumbing, you know, like if people want help, if people need guidance, I think I'm a good person to speak to. I always give my time to people when it comes to things like this. So I just want to really put that message back out there, because some of the comments what I heard, which I will speak about at the end of this video, I had to clear them up with you lot, because that's not what I said. Someone someone told me that you sound like you got a chip on your shoulder. I was like, that's crazy, isn't it? Because to work in the places where I've worked, there couldn't be no chip on my shoulder. I've worked in hospitals, yeah. I've worked social housing. I've done community centres. I've done a community centre in Hackney. I helped build that, put all the radiators up. They're still up there now. That's a project which I was very happy about. I've done install site work. Again, sometimes it's nothing to be glorious about. It's getting yourself dirty and getting in there. But I feel that some of those people who are commenting stuff like that, yeah, they've never watched any of my content. You just watch that one video, which at the moment is sitting at 1.5k views, which I'm happy about, because people are starting to discover the channel. But I just don't want you just to watch that one video and just take that away from it. I want you to understand the clear message, which is my main focus is on life and everything a bit more, instead of just always plumbing first. I will always be a plumber. I don't have any interest in getting any other type of job. I'm not going to change this name, Mr. London Plumber. No, that is my name, my company. I told you I still have a plumbing company. But I wouldn't stop saying the things what I've said before. So I'm not saying that plumbing in a whole is dead as an industry. I'm not saying trades is dead. I'm not saying that anyone should quit. That's not what I'm saying. I've never said that to people. I said my direction on my experiences has changed the way I look at stuff and what I want to continue on doing for myself. And I think that, yes, I do have a platform. That you're very right. One second, I just want to clean my camera. Should have done this before, but hey. I just want to always make sure my message is very clear with people, because YouTube and the internet, sometimes you take time to listen to certain parts, but you don't listen to the full story. So I had to keep reiterating that and make sure that was on the forefront. Personal life angle, we're going to talk about that. Right now, things are changing for me. Like I said, I've been making content, been in the content creating part for the best part of 9 years now. And I'm very proud that I'm able to represent my trade as someone who actually does the trade. But when I look more about my life angle, yeah, like where I'm looking at stuff, it's more to think about family, health, building, and increasing other angles of making money for myself. You know, I've solely based it for the last 23 years just on plumbing jobs, just hoping that, you know, I get more jobs than last year, just finding out more things about running a business, which has made me think, I don't know if I've got the time or the energy to do that. And I'm just being realistic with myself. I'm not telling anyone else that you can't do it. I'd never said that. I purposely have went out of my own way to make 5 PDFs, which are all for free. I done that in my own personal time to help others with common faults, common plumbing faults, what you find in your house. And people have been DMing me all week, fault, so they can get that code and they can download my free PDF, which is from my experiences. If I had a chip on my shoulder, why would I be giving anyone anything for free? Why would I be telling people to message me so you can get something for free, which I've worked for? I'm here to include my community and also help others. But I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't being transparent. Just deep that for a second. I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't being transparent. And everybody has the voice to be able to talk about things, what they see and what they know, right? And I've done enough of my own personal research to see these changes, to be able to speak about these changes with facts, not to speak about them from a place of like, oh, I can't get a job. Oh, da 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 da. Listen, I still have interviews. I still constantly look for places. The difference is that a lot of these other positions which I look for require you to have some form of degree, understanding about accounts, understanding about compliances, and these are things which engineers, supervisors, they don't have any experience of. It's a fact, you know. Uh, If I come on there and I tell you a fact here and you want to argue with it, cool. We can argue or debate either one what you want to do in the comment section, because again, I only speak from someone who is being out there, and others speak from their own experiences. So my own experiences is that that's not how it goes. It's never went like that. So why would I be on here lying about it? So that's why I wanted to make this video, just to clear everything up. So everybody could understand that my initial beginning message was never to tell people stop doing plumbing. Don't do it. It's not worth it. That's not what I said. I said after 23 years, I've never seen this economy in the UK like this, down so low. And I wanted to find out what was the reasons why. And again, we've got things like a lot of problems going on. So people are not spending, people are not buying, rent is higher, petrol is higher, living cost is higher, tools, materials cost more money, customers don't want to pay more. Do you see where I'm going with it? And it's me just being able to see certain things and say to myself, you know what? The competition which is out there is more. There's more people flooding to have the self employed lifestyle from COVID. And once people jump towards one thing, it pushes down the price across the board, because you're now competing with 5 people that can do that job instead of 2. Now, the logical person is probably going to go with the cheapest person. They're trying to save money, they're trying to save costs, and they want to get it done as soon as possible. The person who might be more expensive, i.e., the qualified tradesperson with the 20, 30 years of experience, they're not available at the drop of the hat. The other person is. It becomes a war of who can reply quickest. And I said that with my chest, and I say that again today with my chest. Because what you will find online now is a lot of people telling you they've got some AI reply system set up so you can never miss a message. You can never miss a voicemail. People can always get a reply to you. WhatsApp's had that for years. We're not doing anything new, my boy. But what I know is just that the general construction industry ain't tech savvy. Do you get it? So there's a lot of these things what exist, what they're not using as everyday tools, i.e., 99% of us are not using ChatGPT because don't know how to use it, not sure what to do with it. And the obvious is that quite a lot of the information could not be factual. You need to fact check it. You can't just rely on it. It's not just an answer. I've found that myself when I tried to use it for certain things. Okay, didn't realize this. Oh yeah, you're right. I thought, oh, can't rely on this, can I? I have to rely on this. So what I'm saying to people is just that, look, my message is always for others to keep going. My only priority for myself is not to have real burnout in life, is not to have certain levels of stress, because doing the type of job what I do, high end, we're talking about Knightsbridge, Chelsea, Fulham, you got to be on point with everything what you do. I don't even have the option to be able to really take apprentices with me, because the cost of a fuck up when we're on the job is like the profit and a little bit more to pay out. Do you get it? And that's the reality of working on the high end. And that's what I've done for a proportion of my career, which, for the reason of making money, I chose to do that. You know, I could have chose to do like more local work or something like that, but I would have been paid a less rate of what I have been paid. And that would have frustrated me a little bit more as well, because I like to earn and I like to make a decent wage. And when you start looking at what people are getting paid across the board in different sectors, you start to say to yourself, I could have earned more money then. And that's something obviously what plays on my mind, because I'm at the age where buying a property is necessary. So again, I'm thinking about myself, but sharing it with my community. And everyone who gets it understands it, because I've made videos on how much it costs to have a property, you know, and could a plumber actually really afford it? And even for me, going through those videos, it had me thinking, you know, like, would I be able to do this? And I really had to question myself, because I'm not earning enough to be able to afford 650,000. I'm not earning enough to do 500,000. That's like a place at West End where you work. So you don't want to be too far away from where you work. Can't be all the way over in South London as well. It's too far. I think it was 590 was like East London. Can't remember what North London started at. I think some of them were around six, 6 to 7, I would say. But the prices would shock the average person because you know only being lended 4.5, I think it was, or 4 times your wage. Got to get a higher wage, innit? You know. Um, and again, I do want to say one point is the point I brought up earlier, which was someone said, "You seem like you have a chip on your shoulder." In that video, I explained to you guys that I worked at a YMCA and I was getting like 500. I got like £100 a day as a qualified plumber, but I've just done something else, like just started doing like handyman work just to tie myself over. So I couldn't see where someone would say you'd have a chip on your shoulder. If no work was there in plumbing, I would go and do something else. That's not the attitude of someone who has a chip on their shoulder. They just don't do nothing. That's not me. I done that for a couple of months just because I found it difficult to find a job. And I thought having a job at some point was just paying some bills. My bills is not as high as some other people. I could do that for a little while. But it's because I was making content. It's because I was getting paid through content creating and having my platform. Yeah, wasn't suffering for me. But it wasn't good in a sense of me being on the bandwagon of the trade of what I do. But it was a trade job, you know. I learned how to paint for a little while. Didn't kill me. Made me realize that, you know, you can put your hand to doing other things, even though I've still got the background what I've got. So I have no shame in my step, people. You got to understand that. Like, I'm a tradesperson. If someone asks me, could I put up a fence and they're going to pay me £600, I'm gone. I'm a fence worker today. I'm a guard. I'm Alan Titmarsh. Whatever, man. We'll dig this pond today. That's what I'll do. Like, so where the comment came from, chip on your shoulder, I just didn't know, because you ask most tradespeople, would you become a teacher, a lecturer in a college? They would say no. I'm not putting up with these kids. Why? What's wrong with them? There's nothing wrong with them. They just want, first of all, to be seen, heard, known, and then they want to know that you're the person to be able to guide them. Again, there's a big sense of responsibility on that. And I've done that for 9 years. I enjoyed every moment of it. Never had to block any of the students. And I've been on social media before them, and now I'm still on it now. I've never had to block any of them because we don't get on a bad vibe or nothing. I've been making videos for years. No one's never commented on my video and said, "Oh, he was a bad lecturer and he didn't teach me this and he didn't." There's none of that, because I give as much as I can in all of those situations. Whether it feels like it's a progression for me or not, yeah, I've realized that I'm learning something different. I'm in a different field, so I can respect it. But I feel that people find it hard to respect the fact that I have my own opinion on the life I've lived for myself, and where I want it to get to. Because we all don't have the same end goal, right? Some of us possibly might want to travel all their life. Some of us never want to live in the UK. Some of us don't want kids. Some of us don't have a partner. So you don't live the same life as me. And all I'm doing is showing you what most people live, I think, which is a part of honesty and a part of something which is like, okay, you realize something wasn't working and it took you this long in life. Yeah, I did. And it might be partly my fault, but I'm okay with that, because I'm okay with being transparent. I'm okay with understanding that everything doesn't go your way in life. You learn, you listen, and then you probably work it out. That's how I've lived. And if I can tell my reality to people online, to show them like this is what happened to me, it's not a bad thing. It's just a thing of me being honest. Like I don't know why I wouldn't want to be honest. You know, I've realized over the years, the life what I've lived, yeah. See the people that have been honest around me, friends, family, they're the people that I can trust. It's hard to trust people in this world now. So why would you sit down and listen to someone who you felt like wasn't being honest and stuff? And again, I know that sometimes we have to prove ourselves with others who don't know us. That's why I had to give you a little bit of a credibility check of myself to let you know that I have been this person for years. I've been a person that's got on, done the job, get up, day in, day out, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, not getting home till 8. Some days I've had like 2, 3 months not went to the gym just because I'm getting home so late, even though I pay for the gym. And at some points you understand that the life balance is necessary. You need more of a balanced lifestyle than this running back and forward lifestyle because it's not working for you. And I can say that it wasn't working for me. There's nothing wrong with me being honest about it. Again, circumstances change. People are faced with different circumstances. Not all of us are going to go through the things what I've went through. But what makes you, breaks you, and takes you to different places, and this definitely has. But I've never said that Mr. London Plumber is done. I've never said that at all. I just said that it won't be everything I do. You know, I enjoy videos like this where I get to speak about experiences, my life, what's happened to me, how I've managed to get to the point where I am, even the things which I've made mistakes on. Because to sit here and to say that I've never made a mistake is crazy. We'll always continue on making mistakes until we get better. But until you admit that you make mistakes, you're not going to get better. And I have looked at a lot of other positions within plumbing because my initial point of my video was I'm going to get a 9 to 5. I'm not going to chase doing the self-employed thing anymore. It's a bit too difficult for me personally. I need a bit of stability in life. And it's not giving me stability by looking at how the industry is, the rate of pay, the competition, and all of the other weighing factors what come into it, materials, van, all of this. I done a full breakdown of how much it costs. Me personally, I don't have a spare 30 grand at the moment. And if I did have the spare 30 grand at the moment today, it would go into something else. Gotta be honest. I still always do try and maintain a certain level of business within Mr. London Plumber, my own plumbing company. And there's not a lot of jobs which I get through Mr. London Plumber, which I turn away. There's not a lot. I can't think of many. I don't. I think I've turned away one job this year, and that was because I was too busy. Um, don't always get back to everybody, but when I do get back to people, sometimes I'm waiting on them. I had a customer about a month ago wanted a tap in Canary Wharf. Uh, Still waiting for that person to get back to me because they had to get permission from the landlord. You know, so I always remember when people inquire about jobs and stuff like that. So it's never putting it on a super back burner, but it's not the main priority thing. I think I will be changing up my content, which I'll show you. I've got a lot of content which I've filmed actually. The only reason why I haven't been dropping a lot of the plumbing content is because of my monetization. I explained that before in another video, but that was just totally separate to do with monetization and stuff like that. But I have got tons and tons. I think I've got 40 videos uploaded to my YouTube channel at the moment, which I haven't dropped, but I will be dropping very soon. But I appreciate everyone for coming and checking out this video, because I had to clear it up, man. I had to let you guys know that I like what I do. I've always been passionate about what I do, and I've invested my time, energy, 23 years, and I would never look back, man. I'd never change anything, because it's been such a great experience, me being a plumber, Mr. London Plumber. It's just not my main focus right now. Things might change, economy might get better, other things might just want to make me, I don't know. But at the precise moment, no. But I'm always willing to help. But I'm going to help myself build a bigger community first, and just be focused on the things what I said: family, friends, partner, having a family, and all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But we'll slow down a little bit, but not to the point where like I'm shutting everything down. I've never said that. Never will do that. I've always been grateful to have the trade what I've had, and to be able to reach the point where I have reached, you know, like in my own life, and have accomplishments like being in heating and plumbing magazines, being able to look at stuff like, this is from 2019, look at stuff like this, articles what I've been in. In 2019, I was rocking the True Religion with the dust boots, sand dust boots. This is one of my first lecturing jobs. So this is at a training centre. So that's when I was doing the training centre stuff. That was the first one. Yeah, and we've just been going up since. You know, I was in this magazine as well, HVP. That was cool, man. I done some cool stuff, you know, and I'll continue to do cool stuff. It's just what I'm going to be pushing more for. But I just appreciate all of you lot just being able to check out the video and just understand and clear things up, because I feel that a few messages which I received on the last one, I don't think you lot understood what I said, and maybe you just jumped in at certain points, because I have videos on sometimes in the background, and there's stuff what you pick up on what you think, oh, I wouldn't say that. But yeah, let me just give you the last. This is how much. Old school pick. Doing bits. Yeah, anyway, peeps, look, have a great day. Subscribe to my channel as well, because I've seen a lot of you lot are watching the video. So just subscribe to the channel on it, because I've got loads of content to come, and always a positive message to push about plumbing. It's never a negative one. It's just talking about what's happened to me, right? Subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you on the next upload, peeps. Let's get